Okay, so this is for my MERL Q&A, which I have put off for an obscenely long amount of time. So we're at the point where I kept putting it off, so I just went to the fridge today, took out an edible, and was like, I'm gonna get stoned and do my MERL Q&A. And I found a lollipop. So, that's why I'm rolling. Alright, let's do this. What's Merle's favorite movie? I don't know. I didn't think that far. First question, and we're doing great. I like to think a lot of movies probably he's not a fan of. He has an issue with connecting with other people. He's very hypercritical of a lot of media. Can I say Groundhog Day? I'm gonna say Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day. Does Merle have any songs he likes to jam to? He really likes the Front Bottoms a lot. He likes sad boy music. I feel like he'd like to put on some ambience music and like float. For the MERL Q&A, oh no, so message. No, we're okay. For the MERL Q&A, when does he start noticing his powers? Is it a gradual awaken, or does he just wake up one morning and suddenly his emotions are out of whack and cause he notices his powers when he's pretty young, like 8. I think it's just a lot of stuff was going weird in his childhood, and he was just like, Mom, look at this shit. And they were just like, no. No one reacted. I think he figured out once he realized what was happening. I think once his powers were in a way that you could probably see them, like they were when they were manifesting as that blue smoke that I try and draw him at having his magic as. I think by that point, when his magic could take a physical form, he had realized that people don't want to hear about the shit he keeps pulling off. So he learned to be quiet about it. Okay. How would you describe Merle's change in personality before and after he meets Hattie? Before Hattie, he's a fucking asshole. I mean, we're going to see it in the story. So I'm not going to go too deep into this one because it's, how Merle and Hattie grow together is like part of the story. Shit. That edible just hit me real hard right now. Let's see how this is going to go. He was an asshole, right? He was an asshole. He kind of just had a god complex because he figured out his powers very young on, and then he couldn't find anyone he could connect with. He just like was bitter. He had issues trusting people, and it wasn't that it's not that he doesn't want to show his emotions. It's just I think he struggles with accessing them in a way that helps him relate to other people. That didn't make any sense, but we're gonna keep going. After he meets Hattie, he just kind of realizes that he's being an asshole, essentially. Well, this is kind of a weird question, but how did Merle get into drugs like smoking? Does he do it to relax or peer pressure? He doesn't have any friends, so definitely not peer pressure. He does it to relax for the most part. Merle and Hattie has a... This isn't about Hattie. Hattie, I love you, but go sit over there. Merle has an obscene amount going on in his brain. He has a lot of memories. More than the other knights. And it's kind of a lot of pressure in his brain, and it's like, it gives him headaches, essentially. He gets into smoking because it helps kind of like, 1, calm down his brain, and 2, take away, smoking helps with headaches. So he was just like, no more of this shit. And he started smoking at a pretty young age, too. I want to say like 14. So, not great, but it was like a big coping mechanism for him. Merle got that lightning fire thing going on, right? How does he feel about being magic? I'm not sure if anyone else is magic or if it's just him. I'm really bad at drawing his magic, and I just finally sat on a concrete of what I want it to look like. It's not lightning fire, it's gonna be smoke, kind of like smog or fog. It's very like encompassing and like this goes. He felt really full of himself for having magic for a decent amount of time. He was really bad at connecting people, I said that, but he was just like, oh, guess I'm God. He feels also kind of lonely. He knows that the reincarnations, there's a little bit of magic in each of them. That's what lets them come back. It's a little bit of the Earth's magic deep in them that helped them come back when the world needed them. But, sorry. So he kind of feels lonely. He's getting used to it as he's friends with Hattie. He's settling into it because at least it's other people who kind of like, they have a reason in what's going on. But he does feel lonely. basically. It's... Okay. Does Whirl wish he was reincarnated as someone else? Well, I'm not gonna... Next question, because I mean, I could answer this one, but I can't remember how much I want that to be spoilers or not. Just the topic of Merle's reincarnation. How does Gale change Merle? I get vibe Merle is a bit laid back and chill and not super emotional a lot. That's not true. I mean, he is laid back and chill, but he doesn't talk about his emotions a lot because he is very aware of how things affect other people. But the thing about Merle is he's never really learned to hold back at the same time. When he's feeling something, he's very open about it, and that involves his emotions a lot too. It's hard for him to trust, but that doesn't mean that he's not emotionally ready to talk. Him and Hattie have a lot of talks about emotions and stuff. And stuff with Gale, as soon as he it's a good way to say this, high fork. You got this. It's just when he feels things, Merle likes to be open about it, especially if it's someone that he trusts. So he's not emotionally unavailable. He's just like very selective about who he shares things with, unless it's like a you suck kind of emotion. Then he's gonna, what's going on back here? You just gonna stick straight out, huh? Okay, sorry. Is he secretly a hopeless romantic? No, he's not. He's secretly a we're good pat. Oh my god, it's even worse. What are you? Okay. He's secretly nothing. He's very open and about who he is as a person. I guess Gale's another person who he's able to connect with. In high school, Merle would not have gotten along with Gale, and they went to the same high school. He would not have gotten along with Gale. He was kind of one of those people who's just like, if you're content and happy and you're like satisfied with your life, like, because he's a dick. He's just kind of a dick. But I think meeting Gale is good for him because he enjoys Gale as a person. They have fun together, and that's the thing, is they have fun together. And Merle's in this place with Hattie where he's realized that he needs to be more open to people as a whole, and because of that, no, come back, computer. And because of that, he realizes that he can be more open to meeting other people. Like him and Gale probably wouldn't have gotten along, but now they do, and they're friends. So Gale is like another thing that cements Merle understanding that he can't make snap decisions about people, and that I'm really excited to eat this lollipop, but I'm talking, so I can't. He can't make snap decisions about people, and that you might become really good friends with someone who you were least expecting to. Okay. I like that this person I said, I know you said it's not canon, but let's be real, about Montgomery, I assume. How are Merle's parents? Merle's parents are both pretty successful doctors. Merle's in a pretty well-off family. He's in a nice big house. He's not like, oh my god, we're rich and blah, blah, blah. But, like, he has people who come and clean the house. He probably has someone who's, like, kind of a nanny who he sees, like, a lot of. But his parents are never really home. They host, like, rich parties and stuff, and, like, people come over, and Merle's there for that because it's his parents, it's at his house. But he doesn't see his parents a lot. If he was, like, gone for a week, they'd probably not really notice because they're just not home ever. They're very busy people, and they're more focused on maintaining their status, I think, than their child at this point. Like, they're like, oh, Merle, you have to come and you have to look nice. And he's like, but it's still time he gets to spend with his parents, so he does it. Has Merle ever vaped? Yeah, come on. Absolutely. Especially with Gale, probably. That's the coolest thing that doesn't have to do with drugs that you can do with your magic. Oh, I like this in me. Well, as a fork, I can do nothing with magic. I am just a simple human being. But Merle's, I mean, he does a lot of smoke tricks, but you said no drugs. I mean, he's a wizard. He's the most powerful wizard on the face of the earth to ever walk the earth or some bullshit like that. So he can do a lot of cool stuff, especially like, he can do some displacement magic, which is really cool. He's working with shape-shifting in terms of like his staff that he uses in battles. So he does some pretty cool stuff. Merlin of old, Merlin of the past, was like pretty renowned in terms of their shape-shifting. So I don't think Merle's quite tapped into that bit yet because he's very human at the moment, but throwing that out there. How did Merle figure out he was gay? You know what? I have not actually thought about this one because I just don't think I can't even process the idea of Merle ever looking at a girl like that. I'm not sure if there was a big aha moment. I feel like maybe it was like, for him it was like his magic, which he always just kind of like felt settled in his bones. And it was just something he didn't necessarily feel like he needed to like make a big, huge realization about. He was just like, Dudes are hot. What are Merle's favorite parts about himself? Oh, you gotta play me like that. Merle's rough because he has no concept of his self very often. He has a very big concept of other people. I think if he had to pick something in terms of like niceties that he likes, he's a very good listener and he remembers things. You won't think he does, and maybe he won't reply, but you will say something and he will remember it. And he'll probably bring it up at a later date. Is there anything he wants to change about himself? At the beginning of the story, no. Towards the end, I think he wants to learn more compassion. He understands and he can listen and he can hear and he learns so much about people, but he just doesn't... It's hard for him to understand what to do with this information. What are Merle's hobbies? He likes gaming a lot. He mostly got into gaming because it kind of like... He could go wild and be as awful as he wanted to online without, like, having someone come in and be like, that's not how you handle human beings. So he really likes gaming a lot. He likes smoking. And he's really smart in school. But he doesn't really do anything with it. Like, he doesn't read in his free time. He doesn't spend his time studying. He doesn't, like, join clubs or anything. I like to think he probably just goes on walks and plays games. He probably is, like, lives in his bedroom when he's not going on walks. Barring Gail, who's Merle's favorite kid. This is already 11 minutes, but I'm really stoned and I can't even be upset about it. So anyone who's watching this, I'm sorry you got a shitty video of me stoned, just holding a lollipop with a cowboy hat. We're taking this down now. Barring Gail, who's Merle's favorite kid. Merle likes Germ right off the bat, part of the, I call them Mer squad. It's Merle, Hattie, Gail, and Germ because they were like, they met and they had like a few months together before they met everyone else. So Merle really likes Germ a lot because Germ is like Hattie's sibling. They like Caleb, they get along well with Caleb, and I'm that coward who has to get a list of the knights right now because that's where we're at. Let's just do this. I haven't built up anything with Leo enough, but I want to talk to Vince about that. Does not like Gav. Indifferent to Kyle. Percy, they actually are very, he's very hesitant about. Bonnie, he thinks of as like a little Hattie. He's like, oh, nice. She's like, you but cooler because she skateboards. Caleb. Anna. Rough start. Germ. Ben! Ben and Merle are good friends. Exciting, I know. Agatha. Oh, yeah. Agatha's adorable. And she's really chaotic, so yeah. Gail, you know. Trix, they get along, but they're kind of wary of each other. AJ. There's a lot going on there. Okay. Are there traits you projected onto Merle that maybe helped humanize it or place it onto a character, like either you like or don't like? This is a phrase weird, but maybe you get me. Tiny finger gun. I love you, Tori. Me and my cowboy hat and my lollipop that I refuse to lick because I don't want it to be awkward on film. We love you. Yes, I know there are because I've talked about this before with some people, but I forgot all of them at this exact moment. Little explanation. For Hattie's Q&A, I sat down, wrote down all the questions, and wrote down an answer, and I was able to look at them and read them. Merle's, I said, fuck it, didn't read any of the questions beforehand, put on a cowboy hat mid-video, and here we are, just answering them. Merle is ginger. Someone said, sorry, is Merle ginger or blonde? Merle is ginger. It's like a dirty orange or something. What's Merle's relationship with his parents? I answered that a little bit ago. It's not great. It's not a great relationship. Merle loves his parents, though. He does. He cares about them. They were like his only friends growing up. He just wishes they were around, but he won't ever say that. Maybe to Hattie. When does Merle feel most at ease? With Hattie! They're best friends. Merle just feels like he can be whatever he wants. He loves Hattie a lot. They're best friends. When do you feel least at ease? When people he loves is threatened? Merle's biggest fear is caring. End of story. It's not, well, for a while it was caring in regards to what would happen to him, but then I think it slowly becomes something bad happening to people that he cares about, and he doesn't realize that swap, and he's just like, fuck, I went and I cared. Damn it. I don't know if you're still taking questions about Merle, but what's Merle's guilty pleasures? I'm sorry, every single OC I like is gonna have to this. Merle and Hattie love Carly Rae Jepsen. I don't even know if it's a guilty pleasure because Merle is very open about everything that he loves. So Carly Rae Jepsen, I guess. They don't. Merle also loves pizza a lot. Like Hattie's obsessed with burgers, Merle is obsessed with pizza. They're grossed fast food buddies. And that's all the questions, which thank God, because I went for 15.5 minutes. But I got a cowboy hat on. I'm ready to lick this lollipop. I got hot tea waiting for me downstairs. Well, not yet. I have to start it. But I started it before the video, and then I was like, I want this hot tea. And then I was just like, oh, I found a lollipop instead. So I ate the lollipop instead. But, this was a weird angle in a room I don't usually talk in with a cowboy hat and a lollipop. I love my characters. Okay, bye.